Hey, it's Andrzej on Software. At the last Wrocław RB conference, the topic of Elixir was quite huge, loud, in a way, often discussed. And Elixir is something that comes with the Erlang platform, and Erlang platform is something that comes with the actor model. The idea is that they have this abstraction, it's an infrastructure abstraction, that they have several processes within the kind of virtual machine, and they are conceptually, they are actors. Similarly, Scala has Scala, or more specifically, Akka, the framework built on top of Scala. They are using also the concept of actors, and the basic way of thinking is about actors is that it's something that has a life cycle, so it's probably long living. It's something that can accept messages, so it has a concept of mailbox maybe, and it's something that can also send messages to other places. And in Erlang platform, I think it's all built slightly differently than on Scala. However, the concept is overall the same. Now, how do the concepts relate to domain-driven design, for example? And DDD, a concept which is very close to the actor model, I believe, it's the concept of aggregates. Aggregates as in a very important message, a very important object which lives and represents something that encapsulates some kind of constraints, like maybe you have an order, maybe you have a product, maybe you have a catalog, something that is clearly encapsulating some kind of rules. And also, apart from the aggregates, there are read models. Read models, they also accept messages. They also accept events. So aggregates actually accept comments. Read models accept events, but both are messages. So this is kind of the same concept here. And with the read model, you can build some read, some kind of state. With aggregate, you just accept a message called comment, and you publish another kind of messages, which is events. There is also the concept of sagas, or process managers. There's a lot of confusion about this naming in the DDD community, so let's call it saga for now. And sagas are something that actually accepts events and outputs commands, which is just some kind of messages, basically. So sagas are also good candidates for thinking in terms of actors. Actors is more like, I would say, infrastructure level or infrastructure concept. So they solve the problem which you usually have, like when you have an aggregate and you want to apply a change, you have to have some kind of mechanism in place which detects that if at the same time someone else makes a change to this aggregate, that there are no conflicts, or that both changes are somehow applied, or that at least there is optimistic locking or pessimistic locking. So actors at the infrastructure level, they kind of solve this problem, both Erlang with Elixir or with Erlang syntax, and Scala with their Scala syntax, or with the Akka framework if you prefer to use it. So this is the infrastructure concept. But if you go at the conceptual level of thinking, then you are probably using concepts like aggregates, read models, or sagas. In Erlang, it might be implemented with functions. In Scala, it might be using objects. And in Ruby, even though, for example, I'm not using any kind of actor model or actor framework, I do use the concept of aggregates, which I believe are conceptually they are still actors. They have the concept of mailbox, they have the concept of accepting messages, they have the concept of publishing some messages or sending messages to other actors, as you would say. So it doesn't really matter at the infrastructure level. Obviously, it's important to have this infrastructure security in place, but conceptually, it doesn't really matter like what exactly you're using, as long as you know how to get the benefits. So Scala and DDD, as I know it, they are very close, and a lot of DDD people are from Scala. And when I talked to the Elixir people at the conference, they told me that DDD is becoming popular in the Elixir community, which is great. So maybe we'll also have some Elixir members in the DDD community soon, and maybe DDD will influence the Elixir community, and I think that will be the best that could happen, so that it could like build on top of those abstractions, and maybe they could use the concept of aggregates in their Elixir web applications or any kind of applications, so that they can, instead of reinventing the stuff, they could actually rely on those concepts. Obviously, aggregates as actors is not like invented by DDD, it's just reusing some other ideas. Actors were before of that, but I believe that the conceptual level of thinking in aggregates, read models, and sagas does help even more. So we are more specific now than talking just about actors. And I think this kind of abstractions, this kind of design patterns can help us talking at this higher level. Thanks for listening.